In this video, we will review a problem about a cylindrical can. You can pause the video and read the problem. In this problem, we have a table of data where D is distance in inches between the can and the water stream. H is the depth in inches. In the first question, we have to find the regression of the quadratic function. When you see word regression, it means you need to use your calculator. You will start your calculator. You have to press Tab, Enter. The first column is just enter the first column. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you need to enter the second column. Now you will press Stat again, move to the right and go down to number 5, quadratic regression. Enter, enter. And you see that your A is 0.45, so it will be 0.45 x to the second power. B is 0, so it will be plus 0x, and C is 1. You can type this answer as your final answer, or you can simplify, and it will be H equal to 0.45 D to the second power plus 1. We need to use the variable D because this variable is given to us in this problem. And don't forget to type it as a uppercase letter. Okay, we found the regression of the quadratic function. We can move on to the next question. When the depth is 5 inches, how far from the base of the can will the water stream to strike the ground? When you have a question, you have to read carefully and try to think. We have to substitute 5 into this equation, but we have to figure out if we substitute this 5 for D or for H. Again, read the question again, and you see the depth. Look at the table. The depth is the second column, and we use the letter H. It means we have to substitute 5 for H. 5 equal to 0.45 D to the second power plus 1. Now we need to solve this equation. We see that this equation is quadratic equation. In order to solve the quadratic equation, we need to use the quadratic formula x equal to negative b plus minus square root b to the second power minus 4ac over 2a. But before we use this formula, we must have 0 on one side. And right now we have 5. So we have to move 5 to the other side. Now we have 0 on the left, and we have 0.45 d to the second power minus 4. Now we can use the quadratic formula. My A is 0.45. My b is not here, so my b is 0 because I don't have the variable d. And the coefficient c is -4. Let's use the quadratic formula. X equal to -0 plus minus square root 0 to the second power minus 4 times 0.45 and times -4. And all this over 2 times 0.45. Let's simplify. -0, it's exactly the same as 0. Plus minus, let's calculate the number under the radical. So we have 0 to the second power minus 4 times 0.45 and times -4. We got 7.2. And 2 times 0.45 will give you 0.9. Okay, now we can calculate the solutions. 0 plus square root of 7.2 divided by 0.9. You don't have to type the parentheses. You don't have to type 0 inside of parentheses. You can skip the 0. You can say square root of 7.2 divided by 0.9. And we got 2.981. And this is my D, and we calculate D in inches. Let's calculate the second solution. 0 minus square root of 7.2 over 0.9. So we have negative square root of 7.2 divided by 0.9, and we got negative 2.981. And we know this is the distance, and distance is not allowed to be negative. So we will not use this answer. And the correct answer, our x is the same as d. We found the distance, and it's equal to 2.981 inches. And the last question in this problem, when the water stream strikes the ground 5 inches from the base of the can, what is the depth of water in the can? Again, you know that you have to substitute 5 into the original equation. Let's think. Do we have to substitute this 5 for H or for D? They said when the water stream strikes the ground, and we need to find depth. So we need to find H when the distance D is equal to 5. So we have to substitute 5 for D. H equal to 0.45 times 5 to the second power plus 1. We substituted 5 for D. This question is much easier to calculate. You will just type this part, the right side of the equation, on your calculator. And the answer is 12.25. And again, don't forget about the units. What depth is in inches, so the answer should have inches. Let's review this problem from beginning to the end. The table is given to us, and we need to find the regression. In order to find the regression, we have to use a calculator and press Stat, type your table in, and find the correct regression. We found the formula. Be careful with the variables. We have to use D and not T, not X, D, because it's what is given to us in this problem. To answer the next two questions, you have to read carefully and try to figure out for what variable you will substitute 5 here and 5 here. In part B, we had to substitute 5 for h, and we have to solve the quadratic equation. Keep in mind that you have to have 0 on one side before you can use the quadratic formula. And when you find the solutions, you have to look at your answers and choose your answer that is related to a real world situation. And never forget about your units.